can't believe it, it's End Game. Well, I saw it. Let's talk about it. Avengers End Game. There's gonna be no spoilers, so no worries about ruining any of the moments from the movie for you guys. I'm gonna try and keep this as vague as possible. A whirlwind of emotions throughout the 3 hours of this movie. By the way, I do not think by any means that this was the perfect movie here. I think I might have even enjoyed Infinity War more than this movie, but it was probably the perfect ending to 10 plus years of amazing Marvel movies. It blows my mind everything that's come before and led up to this movie and how so much has come together for this one movie. Absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. I'm gonna have a hard time describing or reviewing this fully without spoiling anything, and I'm gonna honestly not spoil anything because someone's posted a comment in my video and I got a notification 2 days before the movie and ruined the movie for me. Making sure that doesn't happen for anybody else. Obviously, you're gonna want to go out and see this movie. If you've come this far and you're a Marvel fan and you've enjoyed these movies, you're gonna want to see this movie. You're gonna want to see how this all ends, how they bookend this entire series of 20 plus movies. I think it's insane everything that's gone into this. Some of the things that I'll highlight in terms of the overall story, I thought the first act, the first quarter, the first third of the movie, I don't know, maybe it felt like it almost felt like a completely different vibe than Infinity War. I think they did film these back to back, but it just seemed completely tonally different, which I mean, I guess kind of makes sense now that I'm thinking about it. It's just, man, it sort of kicks into, gear and then just doesn't let up from there all the way through to the end. And it's pretty dang impressive. The acting in it is, I mean, these characters are, the actors and the characters have been so invested in this for years, and it's just so well done. It's just really well done, and everybody just did it. It's just an amazing standout job in this. There are a lot of surprise moments that I was honestly not expecting, and I so appreciate that things weren't spoiled in terms of just general spoilers online or the trailers. I mean, hell, the trailers really did a great job of keeping things very vague in terms of the overarching story of what was actually presented in Endgame. So that was wonderful, and I was really hoping that was going to be the case. But there were some really good surprises in the movie that I was honestly not anticipating, and I would love to chat with you guys about maybe in like a week or so. I think next week I'm going to end up going and seeing the movie again, and just to let it sink in a little bit more. But yeah, I mean, it was really a great ending to this entire series that they've gone through. It's also very emotional, like a huge wide range of emotions throughout this movie. It was really incredible compared to even a lot of the other Marvel movies. I mean, there's lots of really good humor, and in some cases that was maybe some of the parts that I didn't so much care about is I thought maybe there was a little too much humor in this one, a little too silly at times. But again, it's par for the course, I guess you say, with some of these Marvel flicks. And it is 3 hours. Made sure to not drink anything for like 2 hours before this movie, just so I didn't have to go to the bathroom during the whole thing. You want to make sure to do that. You don't want to miss anything for it. Also, if you're wondering, there really isn't any... I'll leave that out. I'll cut that. I'll cut it. So even though it wasn't really a spoiler or even anything noteworthy, I just don't want to include it for anybody that's out there. Costumes were all really cool. Obviously, there's going to be some really good cosplay stuff coming out of this. I can't wait to be doing some replica props on this. I'm already talking with Nico over at Nico Industries about a few different props here from the movie. So very excited about that. So you can stay tuned and look forward to that here on the channel as I'll be getting into building some of those and sharing with you guys. Probably not for a little while. I want to give some people some room to go and see this before things are more or less spoiled if I post certain props or cosplay stuff that I don't want to necessarily give things away from the movie. One thing I did want to talk about was the CGI. In some cases, it was insanely good. I mean, they're known for having some really good CGI, but even in Infinity War or Black Panther, some of the CGI was just kind of like jarring to me. And in this case, there were still some of those instances in the movie, even though I thought it did still look, in most cases, pretty good. There was just some that was just like, whoa. But Thanos looked like Josh Brolin. Thanos is such an awesome character and across these movies. And it's just thinking back to those, what was it? The first Avengers movie, I think, is when they really first initiated. And till now, it's just kind of mind blowing how well they fleshed him out as a character. Obviously, the journey was really about these core central cast of characters from the first Avengers movie up through now. And again, I can't really iterate it enough. It was really, to me, a really great ending to this entire run of movies. And I'm really excited to see what they're going to be doing next with this, or even some of the Disney shows that they've announced, and what direction those are going to go into. I already have some thoughts around some of those and maybe how those will be played out based on the events here from the End Game movie. But just really excited to see how that all goes in, and I'll be definitely tuning into that. But overall, I'm like not mixed emotions about the movie. I definitely enjoyed the movie, and I definitely loved the ending, or the at least the last half of the movie. It wasn't perfect though to me, and I just can't put my finger on what. It's probably like a whole bunch of little things, and I'm probably nitpicking this. But again, I honestly don't think it could have been done any better. There's just so much that was fit into this movie. And what was great as a comic book fan and a big time Marvel fan and a Marvel reader, thinking back, this is like one of these huge spanning stories that goes across multiple comic book series and all leads up into this one massive issue that brings everyone together, brings all of these stories together to sort of cap everything off. I mean, that's what Infinity War and that's what End Game does. It's like those two last chapters of this incredible story that spans across multiple characters and stories and brings it all together. And again, I just can't wait to see where this goes next, and obviously being able to build some cool stuff out of this as well. Really excited to see like Comic-Con, New York Comic-Con later this year, or San Diego Comic-Con, what some of the cosplay is going to be from this movie that we'll be seeing. I'm very interested in seeing that. I'm even now wondering if I can pull off a few things for New York Comic-Con later this October based on some of my plans that I already have in place, but maybe I'll be able to pull off a few other of these things. So again, just giving you guys my thoughts on the movie, trying to keep this as spoiler free as possible. I might do a follow-up video in a week or two after a lot of people have seen it, and post some really spoiler details or questions that I have about the movie, maybe some of the nitpicking, some of the really detailed stuff that I loved and was surprised about versus some of the stuff that I was, really not thrilled about and I thought was kind of dumb. But that'll be another thing. I just want to say thanks again for watching, guys, and stay tuned. I've got a lot of fun stuff here coming. I've got some builds coming. I've got a big printer here sitting next to me that I'll be sharing with you guys very soon, and some cool prints off of this, and have some other fun projects. Doing a lot of stuff with resin these days. Don't know why, I'm just sort of obsessed with it. But I just wanted to say thanks again for watching, you guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye now. I can't believe it. It's Endgame.